Now I would like to go on with our third speaker today, who is Professor Xing, who is obviously another very renowned expert on China and its global implications. To quickly introduce him, he is currently a full professor of international relations at Aalborg University in Denmark, and also the director of the Research Center of Development and International Relations, as well as the editor-in-chief of the Journal of China and International Relations. And I guess from this we can already tell his multifaceted and rich expertise in this topic. So drawing on this, his research includes a wide area of interests on and beyond China, including development studies, international relations, international political economy, and many more. So with this background, he is the author of numerous books addressing the broad topic of global China and its implications for global politics, including the one which we will discuss today, which is Mapping China's One Belt, One Road initiative. And further books that he edited include The International Political Economy of the BRICS, or China-Latin American Relations in the 21st Century, the Dual Complexities of Opportunities and Challenges. And with this expertise, I'm also very happy to have you here, Professor Xing, and I would like to give a warm welcome to you and hand over the stage to you if you would like to give some opening remarks for today.
Thank you, Clara, and thank you for introduction. And I want to say thank you, Alvin, and this panel to invite me to join this discussion. And when I was invited, I thought why the Canadians are still very interested in this topic, because somehow within China, people are getting cooled down. But now I have listened Drache and Kingsmith's introduction. I got a lot of inspiration from them. And my own background is IPE, and my research, especially in the last 10 years, focus on the rise for China and the global order, especially the US-led international order. So my approach is quite a macro approach towards the study of China and international relations. When I did my book, Mapping China's One Belt, One Road initiative, it was in 2016-2017. At that time, it was quite early period, because the Belt and Road initiative was raised by Xi Jinping in 2013, and then gradually some kind of movement started. This kind of mobilization, international mobilization as well. And then I organized a workshop together with Confucius Institute. We have also Confucius Institute here in Aalborg University, but it was also closed. You know, these problems with Confucius Institute. Then at that time, when we started the book, the questions were not the same as raised by Kingsmith and Drache. At that time, it was mainly that kind of exploring what could be the implication of this gigantic project. And honestly speaking, that at that time, within China, there was not so much talk about global order level. I was very amazed by Drache and Kingsmith's book title. They called Remake the Global Economy. Actually, whether China had that kind of ambition, I'm not very sure, because I'm a guest professor for many Chinese universities, so I go to China and back and forth all the time. So when I engage in a discussion with Chinese scholars, Chinese officials, they most think about that is China's overcapacity problem. So this is the motivations that they do not just want to abandon China's overcapacity, the areas that China has accumulated huge experiences, and for example, infrastructure. This infrastructure is the most fundamental component of BNI, and this is also one of the key topic today for this panel discussion as well. And for example, at that time we talked about why some countries were very, curious very interested, where other countries showed very kind of resistance, like India, like United States and Japan, for example. At that time, it was also during the 13th five-year plan, and China, if you look at today's 14th five-year plan, and you could say that this new 14th five-year plan derived from the 13th five-year plan, which already reflect China's ambition in many ways. Okay, if China, or this also, sorry, reflect China's what we call it, moving from an old growth model to the new growth model. So the old growth model was very compatible with the United States, with the Western world, but the new growth model somehow make China now in a situation of having troubles with both the United States and the Western countries. And this Belt and Road was a kind of preparation for any domestic problems, economic problems, which China could maybe outsource some of them. I'm not talking about outsource problem. I'm talking about outsource overcapacities, economic surplus. Some of the area China enjoyed economic comparative advantage. But today I'm acting another book, which is about EU-China relations. And in this book, which will be published very soon, that BNI, Belt and Road, is still a focus. Now, when we talk about BNI, then we are talking about, for example, especially in Europe. Okay, well, now we're talking about Italy, because Italy signed the Belt and Road project, then create a lot of problems. Then we had Russia, China and Russia became very close to each other, and the culturalist perspective, the tourism perspective, all emerge. So if we study today's BNI from today's perspective, then we should add many new aspects. I like Kingsmith. I want to say my own academic theoretical kind of point departure is that I'm very much inspired by Wallenstein's world system theory, okay, world economy. If you look at the last several hundred years, that there is a non-stop process of capital relocation and manufacturing outsourcing that has been non-interrupted. In early 1980s, when China received a lot of outsourcing of manufacturing and investment from the Western world, especially from the United States. Now, when China developed into a certain stage, the Chinese capital, the Chinese manufacturing began to move out. That, to me, and from the world system perspective, it is a natural process. It's not something new. It's just new because of some other issues involved, that China is not completely in a line of political system with the Western world, China's value system, China norm system, etc. So some other side issues maybe are considered as very important from a Western point of view, but from the world system point of view, actually, the Chinese BNI is a natural part of the capitalist evolution for many hundred years. The only problem, as I just mentioned, Chinese political system, Chinese normative principles, which are different from West, and also that China cannot just be westernized. When China do things, China has to follow its own way of doing things. The Chinese model of development will be packed into the BNI, definitely, and that also created problems. So many problems, for example, Kingsmith mentioned about the culture issues, psychological issues, to me are also combined here as well, that the Chinese model, it is very successful on one side, but on the other side, it will not, you cannot stop it being packed into the Belt and Road project and begin to play and spill over effect. Thank you very much. This is my opening remark.
Thank you so much, Professor Lee. I think these perspectives and these insights again give us a great basis for today's discussion. So thank you very much.